I'm in Shenandoah National Park at the top of the mountain. This is Swift Run Gap. This road here is US Route 33. There's my little red car. And I'm gonna bushwhack my way down, part of the way down the west side of the mountain over here, along the Old Spotswood Trail. But first I got to go up here and find it. So let me get my car closed up, and I'm going to go over here and start looking for the old road. The elevation here is 2375. Two-tenths of a mile into my hike, and I'm up on the old road now. And right down there is the current road. There goes a car heading down the west side of the mountain. And directly across is the entrance to Shenandoah National Park and Skyline Drive. So I'm going to go back this way a little ways just to get a GPS track. And then I'm going to turn around and start heading this way. This way is heading west down the side of the mountain. That's where I just came from. I'm still right next to Route 33. When they put this new road in, they cut into the side of the mountain so much that there's, right in through here, there's nothing left of the old road. You can see the new road down there. But I'm going to continue on this way, and eventually, once I get around this bend here a little bit, I should be back onto the old road again. Okay, well, I got around that corner, and there's the entrance to Shenandoah National Park right there. There's a car going in right there, and I'm back onto the old road here. So we got good road here. It's overgrown, but this time of the year is a good time to try and hike it. Eight-tenths of a mile into my hike. That's the way I've been headed. And I'm at a spot where the terrain on the left side over there has come down to meet me on the road. And that's approximately the area where the cemetery should be over here. And if you look at that thing right there, that caught my eye. That looks pretty worn right there. Like maybe people have been going up to the cemetery that way. So I'm going up this way and see if I can find it. Eight-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 2306. And here's the cemetery. Wasn't too hard to find. The literature describes this cemetery as being the Nangus Lamb Cemetery, and right there, that headstone reads Vernangus A. Lamb, January 1, 1839, November 26, 1900. So this is the spot. There's a cedar post with a metal can on the top of it, and it looks like a little bit of barbed wire over there. So I guess it used to be a barbed wire fence. It's really overgrown up here, so I wouldn't even try to get up here in the summertime because it's crazy overgrown. I'll do my best to get some stills of these markers. Most of them are simple field stones. Over there's a bench that the family could sit on. So, but most of the markers look like that one right there. This one reads Myrtle L. Shiflett, February 24th, 1903, December 22nd, 1903. Born and died the same year. Little baby. .1 miles into my hike, I'm down to 2285. That's where I came from, and I'm within about 100 feet of some coordinates for an old school that was down here, but it was off an old map, like from the 1930s. But what's kind of interesting is you see all these rocks piled up on the low side of this road coming down through here. And all of a sudden right there, look at that. There's no rocks there. So, I mean, there was either none there to begin with, or possibly that was left open because maybe this is where the school was over here. That's where it should be according to my coordinates, but I walked over there a little ways. I didn't see anything. This is kind of curious though. Look at that. It looks like some old brick. Like some kind of an old brick. So, I don't know. There's a possibility that this is where the school was. Because it's got the coordinates from the old map, but I don't see a trace of it over there. But this is real strange because I've been following this road for a while now, and it's got these rocks piled up here, and all of a sudden here there's nothing. And this is right where the school should have been. I'm going to push down a little further. I was going to go down to where this runs into the new road, which is a couple of miles from here, but this is really overgrown. It's pretty rough going. I'm probably going to go down here to the next bend and then turn around and start working my way back. So up there's the road that I'm hiking on, and right here I noticed this looks a lot like a like it used to be a driveway or a short road or something. Followed it down here just a little ways. You'll see it on my GPS track, and here's a leftovers from like a stacked stone wall. Either that or it's a rubble pile from the school. But it's stacked in real regular order, so it was probably some sort of a wall. I'll compare this with the Shenandoah online records and see what lot this was. Who owned this land? Somebody did. Well, this is kind of interesting. This drainage ditch across the road here was reinforced with stone. See that? Well, you can tell other people have been hiking down through here. See how the bark's worn off that tree right there? And it's kind of almost looks like new wood. Compare that with that part right there. There's your hardcore hikers, man. .4 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2240, and that's the way I'm headed. I'm at a waypoint that I programmed into my GPS so that in case I couldn't find the road, but I haven't had any trouble finding the road. But it's really rough going. I went down there a little further, and a whole bunch of stuff fell across the road, and it's practically an impenetrable thicket, so then I'd have to climb up the mountain and go around it and all this. So rather than do that, I think I'm just going to turn around. Here's what it looks like looking down into the valley down there. I'm going to turn around and head back this way, back past the cemetery, and back to my car. I may take a slightly different route back to my car, but if I do, I'll explain it when I do the map talk. I'm on my return trip back towards my car, and I'm right here at the spot where I said there looked like a driveway. I'm just taking another look at it. There it is right there, and I mean it does look like a driveway. And right here you'll notice there's no rocks to get in the way of somebody driving down there. And there's a driveway, and right over there, maybe you can see they piled up those rocks there like to reinforce the low side of the driveway. So I'm thinking that driveway probably went down there a little ways, and that's probably where the school was, down there. If they put it down there, then it's just a short walk down there into the valley down there to get water, you know, versus say putting it way up here somewhere, which I don't see any evidence of anything up this way. So This is on the right side of the road per the old map, so I'm guessing that was the driveway right there. The other thing I'll mention before I leave the driveway, this is a slightly different angle looking down there at the driveway. And right here, where you would turn off, is that great big heavy piece of iron that I took a picture of earlier. So, and I'm hearing a lot of gunfire going off. That's not a good idea inside the park, I don't think. Up there's the main road that I'm hiking on, but I stepped off of it to this little, here's a little side road or a driveway or something. And it's legit because look, you can see how they reinforced the low side of it right there with rocks. See that? So I'll mark this GPS location. Heck, this could have gone back to somebody's house. I don't see anything back in there though. But this is definitely like a driveway or a little side road. On my way back to my car, I'm right next to the cemetery now, and I mean, there's the road right there, and right here on the bank is a big cedar post that was put in, and some looks like galvanized tin or something was put over the top of it, and then this is barbed wire here. There's some strands down here. So, barbed wire here. We got barbed wire here, metal plate on top, and a cedar post, and then the cemetery is up that way on the hill. .3 miles into my hike, I'm up to about 2,400 feet, and I decided to follow the old road as far in as I could. I'm really hacking my way now. I'm almost back to my car. Right up there is an access road, so when I get done right here, I'm going to get up there. But there's what looks like a drain tile. And over here I see something else. Hold on. Let's see what this is. Looks like some kind of rubber. Well, right up there's my car, and here on this access road is what's the remains of the foundation of some sort of an old building. And this is approximately where the old road came through. So I'll get a few stills, but this is... Now, I read in one of my books that there was a service station up here, of some sort of a service station / general store, so who knows, maybe this was it. So yeah, this is probably the old road right here, because I came up right over there bushwhacking. So this is probably the old road right here, and up there's the new road. And it's kind of swampy here because when they built that new road, they built it up 5 or 6 feet. And right here's the old building. Let's call it a service station. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Swift Run Gap, 1997, and I hiked part of the Old Spotswood Trail, the western section starting at the top of the mountain. And along the way I looked for and found the Nangus Shiflett Cemetery. This is the top of the mountain right here at Swift Run Gap, and I colored this in to show you the difference between modern day route and the old route. The green is the modern day Route 33 coming up the side of the mountain. It goes through the gap here, and then it takes a more northerly route. It goes around this peak this way to the north. So here's the modern day route in green, and then Elkton's down this way. Before that though, there was the old route. It's referred to as the Old Spotswood Trail, and it followed a slightly different route at slightly different elevations. Came through the gap here, and then it went around this peak to the south like this. And then down here, the old route, it wove back and forth a little bit like this. I'm exaggerating, but it's been obliterated by this new route down to here. And then here's the old route again, going around that loop and then down to Elkton. So the part that I hiked starts here. You park right here at the top of the gap on the south side. There's an area where you can pull over. And then I had to start bushwhacking, looking for the old trail. And then I started hiking the old trail to here, and started looking for a old cemetery referred to as the Nangus Shiflett Cemetery. Found that here. Then I continued on down the old road a ways looking for evidence of an old school. I'll show you the old map in a minute. The cemetery was marked on this map. The school wasn't. Well, I copied these coordinates from the old map. Looked around. I found in this area I did find a part of an old wall, stone wall down here in this area that I think must have been associated with the school. Then I continued bushwhacking down to about here. Now this was some pretty rough going. This is overgrown pretty badly. Originally I was going to hike all the way down to here and back. But you know, keeping in mind that if I get down to here I have to turn around and come back through the same stuff again to get back. I got to here, and I had already looked for all the points of interest that I was, you know, looking for. So I just turned around and hiked back to here. Now back here real close to where my car was parked, I found a foundation of some sort of a building. If you look at the old pictures from the 1930s, they showed some kind of a service station or store up here, so that might have been the foundation for that. Oh, I didn't write this. This is what the statistics would have been if I had gone the whole way. I'll have to, it was probably about 2.5 miles, but I'll get the stats off my GPS and post them at the end of the video. Now let me show you the old map before I sign off here. This is the map, Elkton 1937, and I highlighted in pink here, this is the old route. Notice that it goes south of the peak there, the Old Spotswood Trail. Now this map does not show the cemetery, which is right about there, but it shows this driveway and what I call point A. So there was a driveway going to some sort of a dwelling there. I did find the driveway, you'll see that in my video. And then a little further down here is where I found the stone wall. So that must have been associated somehow with that school. And then I hiked down to about here, didn't see anything else, and turned around and hiked back. Okay, so that was the old map from 1937. And that was the hike for today.